Hello YouTube. It's Saturday, February the 7th, and I'm down on the beach. It's not too crowded today. It's February the 7th, did I already say that? 2026. And I haven't shot enough beach videos, but I needed to come down today and decompress after all that I just learned. Let me cup the microphone in case the wind is obscuring my audio. I'll try my best here. As with all my videos, these are raw and uncut, unedited, just my feelings on a particular topic. And today we're going to talk about a video that I just watched for about an hour and 15 minutes. In fact, it was right at an hour and 15 minutes. And it was called Exposing the Disgusting Cult of Epstein. Yep, we're going there, folks. Now, I think it's been about a week since the drop of about 3 million documents with photos and videos from the Department of Justice. And I didn't have the wherewithal. In fact, I didn't have the stomach to go pour into these documents because I already knew just from the reports I'd heard how disgusting it is. And let me just tell you, as a human being, but also as a father of 2 daughters, as an uncle and a granduncle of several nieces and grandnieces, as a brother of 3 sisters, I just knew that I couldn't stomach the details that would be there in the files. And so I'm going to post the link to the video in the description. This is a YouTuber that I've followed for at least a couple of years. I think maybe more. I've been a subscriber to Call Me Chris. Her name is Chris Collins, Chris with a K. Young lady YouTuber, very popular. I'm one of about 13 million subscribers to her channel. So she has nearly 13 million people subscribed and following her on YouTube. So she has quite a platform. And she built that audience largely on her comedic content, because she would pick apart pop culture, trends, and even child rearing. She's done a lot of very comedic shorts that she filmed and produced herself, playing various characters from mom to children to small children. And she's very funny, and that's how she really built her following. But she's taken a keen interest in this as a woman, as a young woman, as somebody who's fairly politically active, I guess. And she does the deep dive. The deep dive I wasn't willing to do because I didn't want to take the time to pour through 3 million documents of the most salacious crap. And here's the thing for me, right? Because the alt-right, the conspiracy theorist community from back before Trump's first term, we're talking QAnon, we're talking 4chan chat rooms, we're just talking about the most salacious conspiracy theorists on the planet. We're all crying about this secret cabal of millionaires and billionaires who were eating children, who were eating babies, who were trafficking children. And the sad thing about it is they were partly right, because that is exactly what happened in the whole Epstein verse, the universe of Epstein, and all of his millionaire supporters and cronies and participants and co-conspirators and pedophiles. They were right about that, but now they've gone completely silent on it because, whoops, it was the people on their side, mostly. I mean, there were people from both sides. This isn't a political issue. This isn't a political rant for me. This is my disgust, my utter disgust and contempt for these people that are complicit in the trafficking of young children. We're talking boys and girls, some as young as like 12 and 13 years old, I believe. But Chris Collins takes the deep dive on her channel. Follow the link below. It's worth an hour of your time to listen to her, because she's very well-spoken. She's researched it really well. She brings all the receipts directly from the DOJ files. She does do a little bit of commentary and editorializing, because how can you not? How can you not just be revulsed and disgusted by the things that are in the files? I don't know, folks. I understand that the color of justice in this world is green, that money buys you basically carte blanche to get away with what you want to, because that's what's happened. And like Chris points out in the video, and I've seen in many memes and posts on the internet, you know, it feels like they're just rubbing our face in it that they got away with it, because now it's all out there. Well, about a third of it's probably out there from the millions and millions of documents, but what's out there is bad enough. And it's like they're rubbing our noses in it. Look what we got away with, because we're millionaires and billionaires and we're not ever held accountable. We don't ever serve time. Although, you know, their scapegoat Jeffrey served time until he was murdered. I mean, I believe he was murdered. His cellmate was moved out the day before he suspiciously committed suicide, right? A French guy, you'll find out, also suspiciously died in custody, who was a co-conspirator. But there are 3 co-conspirators from the original indictment where, you know, Epstein pled to a deal back in the early 2000s in Florida, and those 3 co-conspirators are still concealed. Their names still redacted in the files. All this time later, we don't know who they are, and Chris takes issue with that. But it is well worth your time to spend the hour and 15 minutes. I mean, you would spend an hour and a half watching a documentary, and this is every bit as good as a, you know, a Hollywood documentary, because she just sits there and reads from the files. She just pulls up name after name. And honestly, the one that I was most surprised by was Bill Gates. I don't know why, but that one surprised me a lot. And he's in there thousands of times. Trump in there thousands of times. A couple of high-ranking officials in Trump's administration are in there thousands of times. And none of these people have faced justice. No, the Clintons are being called in, have been subpoenaed by Congress to come testify. Now Bill Clinton is in there lots of times, and he's got dirt. He does have dirt. I'm curious to see what he reveals to Congress. But this video does the deep dive that you probably, like me, like most human beings with a soul and a conscience, can't fathom or stomach, to do this kind of a deep dive into those disgusting files. Let Chris do the work for you, and go and listen to what she says, because she doesn't editorialize a whole lot. I mean, it's mostly just the facts, and it's allegations, and she's clear to say these are allegations and people are not guilty until proven guilty. It's damning, it's very telling, and it's disgusting that all these rich people got away with trafficking children to Epstein's Palm Beach estate, to the Great Villa. Am I allowed to say that? I'm sorry, Great Villa. I might get docked for that. And his private island in the, I think, the Caribbean. But so many people were complicit and co-conspirators, and they're walking around free today. I mean, we've seen a prince stripped of his title, but there was royalty from Norway, I believe France and England. I mean, there were powerful people from all over the world have been implicated in these files. I call them the Epstein Files. I'm sorry, but they are. And the reason that the evidence has been hidden and the indictments haven't really brought justice to anyone, the victims haven't found any justice from any of this that's been investigated for decades now, because these people are just too powerful and too rich. And that's how justice works in the world, apparently. But go and watch Call Me Chris's video. At the time I saw it, it was 3 hours old. It already had more than 60,000 views. 60,000 views in like 3 hours, because she's got a huge audience and she's really well spoken. She does the research, she brings the receipts. You don't want to do the deep dive, you don't even want to get into the 3 million files. Go and watch what she uncovers. It'll turn your stomach. It will turn your stomach. That's why I had to come down here and decompress at the beach. Gorgeous out today with big breakers that are probably like 5 feet, I would guess, just off the coast. And I needed to come and breathe the fresh, salty air out here, and just like, oh my God, I can't with these rich assholes. I just can't. And I don't care, Republican, Democrat, Independent, I don't care what they are. They're sick fucks. They are sick, twisted individuals. And if that had happened to any of my children or my sisters or my nieces, I would want to rip them apart. I mean, I would want to tear them to shreds. I literally would. I would have homicidal rage boiling inside my body. I'm already disgusted beyond belief by it, but go and watch Chris's video. Linked in the description below. Thanks for giving me your few minutes, almost 10 minutes of time. I'll leave it at that. So long from Santa Monica Beach in California. Chris out.